Welcome, everyone, to our TRW meeting this morning. We only have one bill, and we're so excited to have our director and deputy director and our co-chair from the House side to lead us forward on the Sutton State Archaeological Site legal description. And
Take roll.
and we better take roll because, yeah, just because.
Senator Baldwin,
Here.
Senator Ellis,
Excused.
Senator Garou,
Here.
Senator Jones, Chairwoman Schuler.
Here. So we have a quorum, right? Just kidding. All right. Welcome. I don't know who's going to start off or who's going to take us forward.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think I'll just tell you that this is a bill that we worked in the interim, and you all are familiar with it, but I will turn it over to my good friends at State Parks to kind of describe what we're doing.
Welcome.
Good morning, Chairman. Nick Nealon, Deputy Director, State Parks. As Representative Newsom said, this is the bill that you worked in the interim. We came to you and said that we made a mistake and by putting the exact legal description as it appeared in Mr. Sutton's will into the bill. In hindsight, that was not the right way to go about that. And so what this bill does is it just removes that language that is incorrect by a couple acres and changes it to basically the site known as the Sutton State Archaeological Site. And then we'll define the exact site boundaries in our rules. That's it.
Anyone have a question for the deputy director? I do, and just a little history, because I think maybe you know a little bit more about Mr. Sutton, and I'd like to know a little bit about his history. And do you know anything about him and why he ended up at this site?
Madam Chairman, I know nothing about Mr. Sutton other than that he owned a bunch of mining claims in the area. He also owned some mining claims, I believe, up in Montana, where he ended up living and where his estate is based. And he intended to build a house on this property. That was his long-term goal. And thankfully for us, he never got around to doing that.
Any other questions? I have just one other follow-up then. It seemed to me that we talked about making sure that we had some security up there. Do you know, can you give us any information on that?
Absolutely, Madam Chairman. Once we got in there and started taking a look at the site and seeing the great number of rings that are up there, the stone rings that are there, the number of archaeological features, we pretty quickly concluded that it would be a mistake to put fencing around the site because there's no way to put fencing up without going through circles, without actually destroying archaeological sites. Fortunately for us, the site is incredibly isolated. You cannot get to it easily. You cannot get to it without going through multiple gates or and private property. There's no public land that's immediately adjacent to it. It's very, very hard to access. So it's got a lot of built-in security. In addition to that, the local group up there that Mr. John Voigt, who owns the surrounding property, there's also a group, and I forget the acronym, but it's the group that has been put together to preserve the Sunrise site up there, the Sunrise mine site. And they have an interest in protecting that as well, and they're on site much more frequently, and Mr. Voigt does as well. So we feel like it's in a very safe place right now.
Great. Any other questions? I have just one more. Maybe I'm the only one full of questions this morning. What are any long-term plans or ideas for what might happen there?
Madam Chairman, so our goal, once we get the MOU completed with Mr. Voigt and actually get the property transferred to us, we're still waiting on permanent access to accomplish that, and it's proved a little bit more difficult than we thought. Once we get that completed, our goal is to primarily protect the site. I think long-term, we might look at a tour once a month up there to take interested people up and show them what's there. But this is never, ever going to be a site that we develop and put any big money into. It's just, that's not what this is about. This is about keeping it from being developed.
Right. Any other questions? Okay. With that, anything else you'd like to add, Representative Newsom or Director? No? Gosh, 7 minutes. No, actually 8 minutes. I think Yeah, I think, yeah, so, well, we still got to work the bill, so, you know, we might be closer to 10, so.
It might take a while.
So,
Several amendments.
It looks like there's people who want to testify here too. so-
yeah, well, let's open it up. Is there anyone else in the room that would like to testify on this bill? Governor's office has not got a burning desire? Well, okay, because this is a biggie deal, big deal. All right, well, with that, we'll go ahead and close public testimony. What's your pleasure there, committee?
Move bill.
We got did you catch all that? Moved by Senator Baldwin, second by Senator Jones. Any amendments or changes to this huge, enormous bill?
We should go page by page. Okay,
Page
we're
by
done.
page, oh, okay. Page one, anything? Page two? I don't hear anything in terms of changes or amendments. Question's been called on the bill.
Senator Baldwin,
Aye.
Senator Ellis,
Excused.
Senator Guru,
Aye.
Senator Jones, Chairman Schuler.
Aye,
4 ayes,
all right.
1
that bill-
excused.
Well, thank you. That bill passes. And anybody want to take that up on the floor? Senator Jones?
Sure,
Oh, I mean, you know,
I can do it.
Quit
let's,
fighting over it.
let's let Senator Jones. I mean, none of us live close to the site, so I would say you might be closer than the rest of us, right? Yeah, I think it's only fair. All right, with that, any other business for the committee? Kelly, we're going to be really close. It's 8:09, and so, well, we thank all of you for coming, and like I said, I apologize. We had talked originally about maybe pushing this bill to next week because it was one bill and we knew it was going to be short and sweet. But it's an important bill and important that we get it changed and get it fixed. So appreciate State Parks, Director, Deputy Director, and Representative for taking time out this morning. And like I said, we sort of even planned at 9 o'clock if we did it today. And, but apparently the Senate has a caucus this morning. So appreciate everyone taking the time, and it's 8:10, so I believe we can adjourn. All right, Kelly wins. Do you want a burrito for that? I'll go down and get you one.
Take two.